The offense has gone through Marshawn Lynch. That is what the offense must do from this point forward. He wasn't overly effective, but he kept the defense off the field and kept the offense on track. He had 26 rushes, and the rushes opened up as the game wore on. 3-yard runs became 5, and finally became 7. He only averaged 2.6 yards a carry, but it was beautiful. That is what we've been calling for a while now, so it's nice to see they're finally funneling the offense through Marshawn Lynch. It was ugly offense versus ugly defense, and the Broncos offense was uglier. Paxton Lynch looks lost under center and can't read the defense. There were multiple times he had open receivers and failed to find them. Both sides were not playing well, and it was just awful to watch. In the end, Lynch had more to do with the lack of success on the offense than the Raiders' defense. I have no doubt that had Trevor Siemian been under center the entire game, the Raiders' defense would be bad. Siemian can read this defense and keep the team on schedule. On the final 2 drives, Siemian had the Broncos offense going, and it made a football game with 2 touchdowns. Luckily, the Raiders didn't give Siemian another chance to tie the game. There were positives for the defense though. The pass rush finally showed up. I saw Mack lined up on defensive tackle and even nose on a few plays. The pass rush was disguised, and the Raiders confused Lynch. Denico Autry and Bruce Irvin both had multiple sacks. In order for this defense to get anywhere, they need more production out of players besides Khalil Mack. Lastly about the defense, we finally have an interception. It was a bad read by Lynch, and it needed a few lucky bounces, but we finally have one. The best part was, it occurred in the end zone and could not have come at a better point in the game. Great job, Navarro Bowman. There was another should-be interception that bounced off both Carl Joseph's hands. The Raiders need turnovers, and hopefully this is the beginning of something good. Let's remember, this win was against a reeling Broncos team. The Broncos have not been looking good and desperately made a quarterback change. The Raiders were supposed to compete with the Patriots this season, but have shown no signs of being close. They're beating mediocre teams and should have won more games at this point in the season. Still, a win is a win, and let's get this team rolling. This team needs to play smarter. The brawl was completely stupid on Crabtree's part. He needs to keep his cool and not let the cornerbacks get to his head. On top of that, Gabe Jackson got ejected for running into an official. The Raiders must keep their head on. This team is not playing well enough that they can afford to shoot themselves in the foot. The worst plays are self-inflicted ones, and the Raiders must stop. Let's hope Amari Cooper is okay. He took a shot to the head in the game and was knocked unconscious for a while. It didn't look good, and hopefully he recovers fully. Head injuries are no joke, and he didn't look okay from the hit. He clearly has a concussion and hopefully is good for the long term. He is a huge part of the offense, and the offense works better when he is playing well. This game had the Derek Carr that we all think of. Against the great Broncos secondary without his best weapons, Carr had a game similar to last year. He finished with 250 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He wasn't asked to sling the ball around, but made the passes when he needed to. This is the Derek Carr we need from this point forward. If this is the Derek Carr that we see from this point, the Raiders will be in great shape. The Raiders certainly don't deserve it with how ugly they played, but somehow they're just one game out of first place. They hold the tiebreaker over the first place reeling Chiefs. The Chargers started off 0-4 and are rolling right now. This entire division is close, and somebody has to go on a run and take it. The Raiders are also luckily one game out of the wildcard slot. As bad as the Raiders have been, the Raiders still somehow have a way to make it to the playoffs. The AFC West and the AFC as a whole is mediocre, and the Raiders must capitalize.